Welcome again. Right now we're at Acts chapter 25, verses 13, all the way through to the end of the chapter, verse 27. We're talking about Paul before King Agrippa. Now, when some days had passed, King Agrippa and Bernice arrived at Caesarea and greeted Festus. As he stayed there many days, Festus laid Paul's case before the king, saying, "There is a certain man left a prisoner by Felix, about whom, when I was at Jerusalem, the chief priests and the elders of the Jews informed me, asking for a sentence against him. I answered them that it is not the custom of the Romans to give up any man to destruction before the accused has met the accusers face to face and has opportunity to make his defense concerning the matter laid against him. When therefore they had come together here, I didn't delay, but on the next day sat on the judgment seat and commanded the man to be brought. When the accusers stood up, they brought no charges against him of such things as I supposed, but had certain questions against him about their own religion, and about one Jesus, who was dead, whom Paul affirmed to be alive. Being perplexed how to inquire concerning these things, I asked whether he was willing to go to Jerusalem and there be judged concerning these matters. But when Paul had appealed to be kept for the decision of the emperor, I commanded him to be kept until I could send him to Caesar. Agrippa said to Festus, I also would like to hear the man myself. Tomorrow, he said, you shall hear him. So on the next day, when Agrippa and Bernice had come with great pomp, they had entered into the place of hearing with the commanding officers and the principal men of the city. At the command of Festus, Paul was brought in. Festus said, King Agrippa, and all men who are here present with us, you see this man, whom all the multitude of the Jews petitioned me, both at Jerusalem and here, crying that he ought not to live any longer. But when I found that he had committed nothing worthy of death, and as he himself appealed to the emperor, I determined to send him, of whom I have no certain thing to write to my lord. Therefore I have brought him out before you, and especially before you, King Agrippa, that after examination I may have something to write. For it seems to me unreasonable in sending a prisoner not to also specify the charges against him. It's very important to understand that Paul here, out of all of the false accusations that came against him, not one accusation at this time was brought against him regarding breaking Torah, breaking any of the commands. Paul set that record straight in Acts chapter 21. And again, if you haven't listened to Acts chapter 21 yet, go back and listen to that session that we read in Acts chapter 21. It is awesome. Paul proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that he was very loyal to Torah and that he taught others likewise. Once again, seek God with all your heart. And if you seek him with all that's within you, you will find him. Call upon him and he will show you great and mighty things. Love you guys.